So, regardless of what you think about former President Donald Trump, the possibility of him becoming the president of the United States, the next president of the United States in the 2024 election, is very likely. I think now polls have him at 68% chance of winning. If I'm correct. Former President Donald Trump and incumbent Joe Biden are the presidential election favorites for the 2024. Current Trump election odds have him at negative 213 to win the presidency. Trump has a 68% chance of winning. Biden plus 300 and Kamala Harris plus 809 have the second and third shortest odds to win. The Democratic Party is currently debating whether or not to replace Biden on the ticket with Harris or Gavin Newsom as potential replacement. So either way, 68% chance, that's a pretty good chance. And seeing Biden's condition, now he has COVID, his conditions are not getting better. So it's a possibility that Trump's going to win. So in this video, what I decided to do is work with ChatGPT. I know some people don't believe in it, but it's pretty accurate. Work with ChatGPT, and I just input into ChatGPT, what are the pros and cons if Trump wins the 2024 election? And here are the pros and cons. So we're going to go over them. It's just a short list. We're going to go over them in this video. Hit the like, subscribe button, please. Help grow the channel, because YouTube, for some reason, doesn't promote these videos when I talk about the presidential election as much as some of the other videos. All right, so the pros. The first one, economic policies. First bullet, supporters. Trump supporters believe his economic policies, such as tax cuts and deregulation, can spur economic growth and job creation. So basically, taxing the rich less, they will create more jobs if you do that, because they'll create more industry. Basically, they'll get richer, but at the same time, there'll be more job opportunities and there'll be more money running through the economy by them making more money. They create more also. That's what that's saying. So number two, business environment. Many in the business community favor Trump's approach to reducing corporate taxes and rolling back regulations, arguing it can lead to increased investment and expansion. Don't want to be redundant. That's the same thing I just said. So number two, foreign policy. Strength. Advocates argue that Trump's American first stance strengthens the U.S. position on the global stage by prioritizing national interests and pressuring allies and adversaries for better deals. So if, let's say, you tax those rich or the corporate companies less, they create more industry, and now they can do more manufacturing in the United States, creating more jobs, less regulation on the manufacturing. And now, since a lot of the manufacturing is done overseas because it's cheaper, now it should be even more cheap, because they can compete. We can compete with them here in the United States. That's what it's saying, or that's what it's proposing, I think. Okay, number two, peace deals. Some credit Trump's administration with brokering significant peace deals in the Middle East, like the Abraham Accords. Okay, the Abraham Accord Declaration. We, the undersigned, recognize the importance of maintaining a strengthening peace in the Middle East and around the world based on mutual understanding and coexistence, as well as respect for human dignity and freedom, including religious freedom. Okay, so basically that's what it is. It's like a peace treaty between the Middle East. So they say Trump is responsible for that. So that would be a pro in his return to office. Okay, let's move on to number three. Conservative judges. Trump's reelection would likely result in more conservative judicial appointments, which supporters argue are crucial for maintaining constitutional originalism and protecting Second Amendment rights. So let's see, judicial appointments, Second Amendment rights. Let's find out exactly what are the Second Amendment rights. Okay. The Second Amendment to the United States Constitution, ratified on December 15th, 1791, states that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The amendment also states as well, regulated militia is necessary for the security of a free state. So the right to bear arms. So not be infringed. So that's the big one, the right to carry guns. And my man just had an assassination attempt. So that's interesting. Comment below what you think about that one. I think that one is like that's really interesting. Um, do you believe that we should have and be able to carry guns? Comment below. I have my own opinion about that. I think is the government. If the government has them, we need something to protect us against the government. We never know what the government can do. But I don't want to get opinionated, so I'm just going to just read some of these facts. Let me get back into it. All right. So judicial appointments, conservative judges, and that also means too when it comes to certain things like a lot of times when Trump was in office, a lot of issues of police brutality came about. And with conservative judges on issues of police brutality when it comes to court, that's going to be something to look out for, or something that I think is interesting when it comes to number three, judicial appointments. Like I said, comment below, start the conversation. Tell me what you think. Okay, the cons. Number one, social and political division. The first bullet is polarization. Critics argue that Trump's rhetoric and policies deepen societal divisions and exacerbate polarization, which can lead to increased social unrest. Well, the example of that could be the assassination attempt. He's such a polarizing figure, and people are either one way and one end of the spectrum on him, or the other end of the spectrum. And the other end of the spectrum is deadly, obviously, with that attempt, whether or not you believe it was real or not. I'm kind of leaning towards with some of the forensic evidence and the way they have some of this camera now where they show his head moving in 3D and how he just evaded the bullet. If the person was taking a shot from that trajectory, then I'm like, all right, yeah, Trump got lucky. But it all depends on how you figure and how you feel about that. But that's what they mean by the polarization. Number two, second bullet, civil rights. There are concerns that his approach to issues such as immigration and race relations may undermine civil rights and social justice progress. Okay. Let's see. Civil rights. I don't know how to feel about that. I think that leads back into what I was talking about when it comes to the police brutality and things of that nature, and also the immigration and how to treat illegal immigrants and undocumented immigrants. Let me put that undocumented. You get people feel all types of ways about everything, but let's say undocumented immigrants. All right. All right. Number two, foreign relations. Number first bullet is alliances, and this is mind you, we're still on the cons. We did the pros already. We're on the cons. Alliances. Critics argue that Trump's American First policy has strained relationships with traditional allies and could weaken international alliances, potentially making the world less stable. So it's almost like I can kind of like put together this map. So basically, if there's more jobs created in America and more opportunities in America and more money stays in America, the money that was going out to other places and other countries is going to be a lot less than it was before. And that'll basically hinder our relationship and alliances with other people. How do you feel about that? Do you want more money in America or more money overseas? Let me know, how do you feel about that? The second bullet, diplomatic isolation. There are concerns that his approach could lead to diplomatic isolation, reducing the U.S. ability to influence global events. Yeah, well, you're not putting any money into the world and the rest of the world. You're not putting any money into their economy. Then what is your influence now on their economy or on their world? Why would you're not in alliance anymore? Your dollars aren't coming in, so your influence isn't there anymore. It's all about money. All of this stuff is about money and power. Money and power. Money, power, respect. She needn't laugh. Second now. Number three, Environmental policies, climate change. Trump's environmental policies, which emphasizes deregulation and support for fossil fuels, are criticized for potentially exacerbating climate change and undermining global environmental agreements. I don't know. I don't know too much about that one. And I really don't want to do much research on that one right now. I'm not really into the climate, and I don't know if I'm wrong about that. Let me see. Trump's environmental policies, which emphasize deregulation and support for fossil fuels, are criticized for potential exacerbating climate change and undermining global environmental agreements. It sounds like he's trying to take what nature has to offer and using it for fuel and seeing if we could get money from it or use it for things and make it useful. That's what it seems like. Comment below if I'm wrong, but that's what that one seems like, right? Using what the environment is giving us, taking from the natural resources that's available, and seeing if we can use it for some type of energy. That's what it sounds like to me. And that is at the same time taken away from the environment, which can create weather change. Comment below, let me know what you think. I think that's the interpretation of that one. All right, so let me go to number 4. So let me say rule number 4: rule of law and democratic norms. Institutional integrity. Critics argue that Trump's actions and rhetoric sometimes undermine democratic norms and the rule of law, posing a risk to the integrity of U.S. democratic institutions. So basically, Trump is changing the way the U.S. is used to operating by stepping into office with a type of authoritarianism and totalitarianism regime, the Putin type, changing the way the U.S. is used to doing things in a democratic way. That's basically what that's saying. And the second bullet and the last and final one: impeachment legacy. Given his impeachment history, a re-election might be seen as a setback for accountability and oversight in government. That's a good one. Like, this guy was impeached, and for him to come back and be re-elected as the president of the United States, he has a 68% chance. Let me know what you guys think. That last one is really interesting. Does that show that America has gotten weak? Or if America is the land of the second chance? Let me know what you think. Comment below. Ronald West TV, I'm out.